So is this just send to the day?
Yeah.
So we'll get this view right. That's just for audio.
That's right. What's up, YouTube? Eugenius here, joined by my fellow perfume snob, Christo.
That's it.
I don't know.
You're trailing off there for a second. You haven't even sipped your beer yet, and you're already talking funny.
Whoa. What are you trying to say?
He's drunk from the fumes.
Yeah. Well, I don't really drink a whole lot, but anyway, we got a scent of the day for you today. Christo's in town. We're going to hang out, do some videos, do some sniffing. We thought about live stream, but that's kind of like out of the picture for...
Maybe on the way back or part of the way. It just turns into a lot of hassle, and I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a review. We're thinking of reviewing leather oud. We're actually talked about, often about doing our favorite leather perfumes, and neither of us are ever really prepared. So we're like, let's just do leather oud for now, and then save the favorite leathers for later, because it is kind of like a complex topic and just so much involved, to get it.
Yeah, just having all the bottles being kind of
like on page.
Yeah, exactly. Being, up to date with them, and, probably because it's a note we both are into, we're probably going to have quite a lot to say about every single bottle. So it's going to turn into like an hour long, and just a lot of prep.
And I usually like to wear my stuff before I talk about it, just to kind of like remind it myself.
Yeah.
You want to start with your scent of the day?
Sure. I am wearing Hinoki. It's a really beautiful day out. It's probably like 15 Celsius, 15-ish.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, but it's really beautiful, sunny, totally clear sky. So I thought this is good. The leaves are definitely falling off the trees. Not completely bare, but definitely fall
there's still,
here.
Like in that changing color.
Yeah. Just kind of like as I'm looking out, kind of assessing the trees out the window. But yeah, it's kind of like, in a month or so, the trees are just going to be bare, and we're going to be pretty much on the doorstep of winter. But these are the days that I love. It's just so clear and bright, but it's nice and cool out.
I think you wore this the last time we did a scent of the day, or sometime recently.
I don't
maybe
remember.
It was something else from Comme des Garçons.
I definitely...
Monocle.
Yes, Laurel. Last time we met up, I was wearing Laurel.
And they're
which is the same
very,
series.
They're not, they're very similar,
related,
I think.
Yeah,
somehow. But anyway, when you got in the car, I can smell you wearing something spicy, and I was like, I also smelled sausage. I was like, is there sausage in this fragrance, or did he maybe have sausage for breakfast? I'm not sure.
You never mentioned that. I forgot a sausage in my pocket.
From Tim Hortons.
That's weird. A sausage? I have no idea.
It smells like sausage. Is that his fragrance, or
smokiness? I don't know.
I don't know.
This is got a turpentine note that I think is just absolutely out of this world. I love the smell of turpentine. I don't know. This is awesome. I love it. It's just so green.
You know when I think you wore this? Is when we moved in my house 4 years ago and we did a scent of the day video.
I think I did, yeah, when we were moving. But it was really cold. I think it was actually snowing, or there was snow on the
March.
ground.
It was in March sometime.
I think you're right.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, and I remember getting a lot of smoky vetiver and spices.
Sausage. Interesting. I never thought of that. Okay,
right,
what else you got there?
So I went with Rocabar, and you were kind of like, when you got in the car, you were like, okay, what are you wearing? Because it smells sweet. And I was like, wow. Because that's like the last thing I think of when I wear Rocabar.
So I said, to be fair, it smelled familiar.
Okay.
And you identified right away, like, yeah, I'm sure you had a bottle of this. In fact, I think you reviewed it. So my mind's kind of like moving and, kind of trying to focus in on what it is. And I think after you told me what it was.
No. I sprayed some on your hand and you guessed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You guessed.
And then I was like, yeah, okay, because it smelled high end. It smelled, and I got sweetness. Although it is like a sweet resin. It's not like, just Tonka Bomb.
No. It's got,
sweet
balsams and resins and...
Yeah, really nice.
For leather.
Because I think I've said before on camera that this smells very different than the bottles that I used to have. But then smelling it again today, like actually on my skin with not a lot going on. Because usually when I smell this, it's at Hermes after we've smelled about 400 things. And I'm this smells so different. It's completely different. But smelling it now with a pretty straight nose, it smells pretty similar to what I remember from my bottle.
And I've also taken a little bit out of here, so it's gotten a chance to breathe, right? So, the fragrance can open up. But I love this for this time of year, especially like you mentioned the trees. This definitely reminds me of, fall time when the leaves are changing colors. And you can still have the window or the door open the crack and that fresh air is coming in. And just, laying down on the sofa and wearing this thick, woolly, fuzzy sweater. And
I thought you were going to say wearing nothing but Rocabar.
Well, that works too.
Yeah, and I'm sitting on this. Eugene just sprays Rocabar and lays on the sofa naked.
Yeah.
Sorry to take your really nice poetic.
I forgot where I was. I was
usually
just thinking
you do
about
that to me and say something pervy and sidetrack me.
But that's kind of what it reminds me of. I love it for the fall time. It's got a lot of I get pine, needles and greenness and forest aspects from it. A little bit of leather and it's almost fuzzy like a rug. I think this was inspired.
Well, that's what Rocabar is. It's like a hooked
Hermes horse blanket.
Yeah,
and it definitely has that texture. It's got a lot of textures and colors and emotions and depth to it. So I love it. And this isn't a vintage. This is a current bottle.
I'd say it's pretty true to the original.
Yeah, I haven't smelt the original, but
it's interesting because I had this and I loved Rocabar, and I've always said, and I think I still believe that of the kind of pre-Hermes, Terre d'Hermes masculines, Rocabar has always been my favorite. They didn't do a heck of a lot. There's not many just straight up and down masculines from Hermes, but of Bellamy, Rocabar and Equipage. Yeah, I think Rocabar is my favorite.
To be honest, and it might be sinful to say this out loud, but I think I prefer this to Bellamy as well. And the main reason is this is very, very subtle. And Bellamy on me is just really loud and it's boisterous and obnoxious almost.
Really?
Yeah, it's it's overwhelming in some cases.
Because the very few times I've worn Bellamy, I found it to be quite light and airy, but
not for me. It's very, very strong, and I much prefer skin scents and things that sit, more subtly, where I can appreciate it. I don't want to annoy everybody in a 10-foot radius, but.
So I'll show another bottle that I'm wearing. This is an old school bottle from a Tot Libre d'Orange, Je suis un homme. So this is what the Tot Libre d'Oranges looked before they had the new packaging. They're very hard to... Oh, I thought you were going to... Okay, so I thought you were going to say I've never seen one of those. You can just take it.
Okay.
But you don't see many of these bottles come up here. So this is a classic masculine, a modern take on a classic masculine. I've been wearing this a lot lately. I find it works well for the weather, for my kind of work conditions, in that I know that I'm wearing a perfume and I've got a perfume on, but it's not going to be something too noticeable with, coworkers or, customers and clients and stuff like that. But it's got citrus in the opening, and then it's got a very oily, smoky dry down. It almost smells I don't know, some kind of dry or some kind of adhesive material. You know what I mean? Almost dry caulking or something.
Like glue.
Yeah, dried, the hot glue guns, almost like that when it's warming up. And you can kind of smell the kind of melting glue. the dry down reminds me a bit of that. I like it. It's one of the more wearable, less outrageous Etat Libre d'Oranges.
It's very approachable.
Very, yeah.
But I've noticed kind of a theme with you lately, and it's, I mean, that carries it. This one as well is those green peppery vetivers. That's
interesting.
Seems like that's kind of like what you've been wearing a lot the last few times we've met up.
It's interesting you say that
go.
Because
green, peppery, woody vetivers.
Yeah.
And do you own Sycamore?
I don't. I regretfully did not buy a bottle when they.
That's totally up your alley if you're, into this. But.
When they kind of transitioned to the EDPs, I was either gonna get, because I bought Coeur de Russie on the spot, and then I was either gonna get Sycamore or 22 maybe, and I couldn't decide, and I couldn't decide, and I couldn't decide, and then by the time I was gonna get Sycamore, they were just gone. And I was like, I'm not going to pay like almost 600 Canadian for a, bottle of,
you got 22.
I do. I got it later.
Oh, you got Coeur de Russie.
I got it. I got Coeur de Russie. Coeur de Russie is the only Les exclusives I got from the boutique. I picked up 22. I picked up 1932 from a Dutch lady who was selling testers of the EDTs for incredible prices. And then very recently, I picked up Rocabar.
Very nice. I haven't worn that in ages.
I was going to wear it a couple days ago to work, and I thought it might be a little bit, I don't know, what would you say? Something that you'd kind of single me out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's not very masculine.
Which I usually don't care about, but in a work condition or, it's not like coworkers, but it's more about like clients and customers coming in that I not worry about it, but I get a little bit self-conscious, like, who's a bloke that's wearing women's perfume kind of thing. Like, not that it bothers me, but it's just like I don't want to get into a discussion about it at work in front of people and whatever. So
where's the gay dude?
I just wear like pretty straight up and down. I wouldn't even wear like classic masculines. Like I won't wear Paco Rabanne Pour Homme
to work.
Yeah, just because like who's the guy wearing the old man cologne?
Yeah, my dad's cologne.
Yeah, I won't wear that either. So that's kind of why I'm doing stuff like this. Even this, I wear this to work, which is why I put a pretty big dent out of it, but it doesn't project very much. Well, I find it sits really close, so I just kind of sit there and, smell good to myself.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually lied to you guys. This isn't going to be just a scent of the day video. We're going to go a little bit deeper just because we got a couple things here that nobody really talks about. And last time we met, Crystal left this. He brought it with him. We thought maybe we'd do a video, but he left it in the car, and I didn't spray it at all.
Oh, really?
No, but I did kind of spray it with you while we were still together.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
And I kind of forgot what it was, but let's get it. What is this?
Garage
by Comme des Garçons.
From the synthetic series. Okay, you got some skin.
Okay, which is a really strange bottle.
Yeah.
It's just really plastic with almost like, it looks like a garbage bag inside of this cylinder, and that's where the perfume sits. So it's like an atomizer inside of a black garbage bag, or
exactly. I think that's why they were I don't know why, but I think part of the reason they're discontinued is because of this bottle. And I say this just because when I was buying mine, the boutique was like an official Comme des Garçons boutique. Not that it was like a standalone Comme des Garçons, but they were officially, carrying Comme des Garçons. And a lot of their bottles they had kind of in storage were leaking. Like a lot of them. And I've had a couple that'll have like a little spot, like a little wet spot inside, but nothing that bad. So I think, I could be wrong, but that might be part of the reason that they were discontinued, because they were leaking so badly. Which is just really weird. What do you think of it?
So, I don't remember what it was we said last time, but I remember saying, okay, first of all, it's very synthetic, but not cheap. I like it. I like what I smell, but it smells very industrial to me, like a lot of things that you would smell in a industrial scenario.
Yeah.
So it's very dusty. I can imagine this gets powdery in the dry down.
Interesting. I've never noticed that. So to be on, I'm going to be honest. I love it, but I rarely wear it because of that reason. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're dressed up nicely,
Right.
and you're wearing this, and I mean like just not loafing around or coming from, you know, a labor job, you would just feel so out of your element. Like if you were wearing nice clothes walking around a mall and someone smelled that on you,
Yeah.
it smells like you've come from a factory, like your factory
Possibly.
job.
So I love the concept. Now, is it as approachable as, you know, a lot of probably not. And I don't think it is something I'd wear, you know, very often. I'd wear it from time to time just to revisit it, but I love the concept, but I'm not sure it's something that.
Yeah, I think I've described it before as like your musty old S&M gear.
Yeah, I get quite a bit of leather from it, and it's almost like a slithering, you know, it's very like something slithering through maybe a garage, a dusty old cemented garage, you know, behind boxes, and it's got this weird animalic touch to it.
It is a really interesting scent in that the first time I smelled it, because I was really interested in these for a long time before I got to try them, and the first time I tried it was just like, how did Comme des Garçons get into my garage? It smells like every garage I've ever been in. You know, I don't mean like a garage where they fix cars per se, but like your
a
own
concrete garage.
Yeah, like your garage where you park your own car and you put your old the kids' hockey equipment.
It has this sterileness, this coldness to it, almost like the concrete floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that cold, sterile feeling you get from Comme des Garçons. I love that.
Okay, so we've got... I think I've worn this for a week straight, and I got a
recently
huge sample, and this is The Moon from Frederic Malle, another oud theme. Have you smelt this yet?
I don't think I have.
The first time I wore this, I absolutely, like, I hated it, like, so much. I absolutely detested it. So what did I do? I wore it again the next day, and I was like, oh my God,
it's
I love
amazing.
it.
I call it. I always call it.
It happens. Like, it just happens. I don't know how it happens, but do you want to, where do you want this?
Yeah, give me a shot on there, because
Okay.
if we're going to go sniffing, want to keep a bit of skin in this. I imagine
and this stuff's
is
really
monstrous.
expensive, so I don't want to put too much. I want to, like, use this.
Wow. Wow, that is very interesting. Wow, that's really interesting. Very poopy oud. But there's something like almost like candy, something candied in there.
Yes. It's a raspberry.
Is that what
it reminds me of, you know what they smoke in the Middle East, those hookah.
Shisha.
Shisha. So raspberry flavored shisha. That's what it reminds me of.
I can totally see that sitting on like the the coals. Yeah, that's so I like that. I like that description.
This violet, this candied raspberry violet thing that's sweet, but an approachable adult sweetness.
Wow.
It's not childish or sugary.
Where did you get your sample?
Premier Avenue from
Paris.
Oh,
that's it. Okay,
sent it to me.
And how much is the Moon?
God, it's so good. The Moon is like in between, so it's not quite as much as The Night, but it's more than Promise.
Okay.
Which I'm also absolutely like in love with.
Do you have a bottle?
I have Promise. So it's kind of in between those price points.
Like what, 400?
I don't know in Canadian.
I can't remember.
I think it was like 500 euros.
500 euros.
Yeah. But I get like, oh, it's really complex. And you know what I get is a lot of cumin. Like right in the opening is that spicy, almost animalic cumin.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I like it. Interesting. I don't know if I could pull that off day to day, but I like it.
I wore it to work, and I didn't get good feedback from
Really?
This. No.
Why?
The guy
Too
said it
sweet or
made
too
his
strange?
nose like he said it made his nose like itchy, or it just kind of abrasive to him.
Interesting. Because I can see people not liking this because of that kind of animalic oud, and I can see people not liking it because of the sweetness. But I think the sweetness might die down because already
the sweetness goes right throughout.
Oh, does
it's got this candied raspberry, which I love. Like, I love it.
It's definitely not like at first. It's almost like a, like a hard, sticky candy kind of sweet. Whereas now it is kind of. It's not quite as just sugary sweet. It's a little bit blended in with that kind of ashy, like almost like the coal, almost like the charcoal kind of thing.
It's very smoky.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like it.
And it smells high quality. Is it real oud? I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me, though.
Or, you can put a drop of oud in, real oud, and then call it oud, yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple other things. Do we have time? Like,
might as well. There's no point cutting it.
Yeah, all right. So I've got a couple other things that I don't think I've ever talked about. And I've got full bottles of this, but we're going to spray. I've got 10 ml decants, and this is from Guerlain, Sous la Vente, which has been...
You have a full bottle of that?
I do.
What presentation is it?
I'll spray this, and then
I'll
grab the bottle. So this is Sous la Vente.
And this is rare, right? This isn't a common...
It was released once before, and then again, and then discontinued.
That reminds me of, like, Eau de Guerlain.
So there's Sous la Vente.
Oh, yeah. I remember when you got these. Yeah. Beautiful bottle. Yeah, that reminds me of, like, Eau de Guerlain, in that it's, like... It's our what is it? It reminds me of, a Peace Marine.
Really?
Like, cumin, caraway, something kind of sweet, fresh.
Is it aldehydic at all to you, or
aldehydic? I didn't notice any aldehydes.
Very soapy. It's a floral, very soapy floral.
Soapy, I can see for sure.
Okay, and let's do. I've got. Wait, that was Sous la Vente?
Yeah.
And I've got Vega. So here's...
I like this. I like this a lot.
Here's Vega.
But these are really rare, right?
Yeah,
like you can't just find these.
No, they're quite rare.
Okay.
I think they were only selling them for a year or two, and then they
pulled them.
Yeah. There you go.
Whoa. That's very aldehydic. Wow.
They both smell very waxy to me. Like, they've both got that cosmetics accord.
Wow, I love that. Okay, the Sous la Vente I like. This I love.
Vega?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I love that.
It smells like... You know what it smells like to me? A Chanel.
It
smells more Chanel
totally.
than it does.
Yeah, I can hear, Liu or whatever. Louis.
Yeah.
The early aldehydic Guerlain.
That's like the, aldehydic floral that was similar to number 5.
Yeah.
This is kind of in that
category. This reminds me
number
a little closer
22.
to like 22 than 5.
Yeah, very aldehydic, floral.
Powdery.
Just gorgeous.
Wow, let me see that again. I love this. Wow.
Like, I love that woman's cosmetic handbag accord.
Yeah, this is amazing. Wow. Oh, I love that. Genuinely love that. It reminds me of, what is it? Jean Patou?
Joy?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. I had like a really old bottle of that. It was so animalic. So animalic. Wow, I love that. Awesome.
Okay, so let's go back to the moon. And the leather is starting to come out. Like, this is kind of what I wanted Rose and Queer to be. There's rose and leather, and it's almost queer-like, salty, animalic, dirty.
It's like a
barnyardy.
smoldering leather.
Yeah, it's smoky. It's, you know, very motorcycle jacket. Rough, tough. I mean, not that Rose and Queer is bad by any means, but it's not what the name implies it to be. All right, so there you go. Any
30 minutes into the day.
Well, that's kind of
Getting
typical of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is anything else you want to add, or?
No, but I love that Vega.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably go sniff some stuff. Well, I guess by the time you're seeing this, you'll know whether or not we have gone sniff
you and
some
me
stuff.
will know, yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably do at least a bit of a stream. I just find stream, we kind of talked about this on the way over, and it's just like, I find when we do a live stream from like right when I get in the car to, you know, where we go, and then we film, and then we get back in the car and, you know, do another stream, it's just like, it doesn't even feel like we were hanging out. It's just like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like all work.
Really quick.
We don't actually have time to talk and, you know, just, you know, talk about whatever.
Maybe we could just stream and like forget that the camera's even going and have a conversation ourselves, or that could get kind of dangerous.
it'll get very dangerous. Yeah, the stuff that we were talking about before we got to your place, I think I actually grossed you out for the first time, because usually it's you.
I had to ask you to stop talking about that.
And yeah, so that's why it might not be a good idea.
And it's usually the other way around. You're like,
oh yeah. Although I was grossing myself out.
Yeah, you were like starting to puke in your own mouth. Anyway, all right, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.